With me on High Bank Fury, Dave Moody, MRN Radio, also Sirius XM. I want to make sure I say that right. Dave, Humpy Wheeler, his passing, I know that you hold him in the highest of regards.
Absolutely so. Humpy was one of the best. You know, he's compared sometimes to P.T. Barnum. And I don't think that's a fair comparison, because a lot of what P.T. Barnum did was false, was hokum. You know, the three-headed man, he had three heads, but two of them were made out of paper mache. Everything Humpy did was real. He was a showman, there's no question about it, and he knew how to get people excited, but he was 100% genuine. And the thing that I remember most about Humpy is that he was just such an encourager. You know, he came a couple of times to the little short track in Vermont where I started out, and it never failed. He would pat me on the back and he'd say, "I'm glad I got to listen to the best short track announcer in North America." I was by no stretch of the imagination the best short track announcer in North America, but he lifted me up, you know, and after having him say that to me, I walked out like I was walking on air. And he did that to so many people. There are so many people in this sport that are here because he encouraged them, and he really was special in that way.
As far as, is it possible that NASCAR could ever see anybody in the modern day version of him? I don't think you'd see him in the old version. He's one of a kind, but is there anybody that could ever stick out and do that again, or is NASCAR too tame for that now?
It would be awfully difficult to be the next Humpy Wheeler, mainly because everything in our lives today is so overblown, right? If it's not exaggerated, we barely notice. Humpy knew how to do things, and they weren't always huge things, but he knew how to do things to get attention. You know, when they were testing at Charlotte Motor Speedway on a Thursday and it was 110 degrees, he'd take Terry Labonte, the Iceman, and he'd order a 100-pound block of ice and sit it down at the end of the practice session at the start-finish line, and have Terry Labonte sit on the block of ice and say, "The Iceman is ready to go on Sunday at Charlotte Motor Speedway." It wasn't a huge thing, but it got people's attention and it sold tickets.
That is fantastic. Dave, I want to thank you so much for giving us a couple minutes on Humpy Wheeler, and I'll see you at the checkered flag.
Thank you.
In the story of NASCAR.